Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and I'm bringing you another one of my solo variants. This time I've designed several Automa you can fight against for Sakura Arms, which recently got ported in a new edition from Japan from Level 99 Games. But it's originally by Baka Fire over in Japan. A link to all the rules are in the video description, and I do want to give a shout out to all the Sakura Arms players who tested this out and gave me feedback to make it better, and also Marco from Level 99 who helped me out with some ideas for the design, although this is completely unofficial. This is just me messing around. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos you can't see anywhere else every month, like top 10 lists. You can also check out our separate streaming channel for even more content. And we have a weekly podcast and a Discord if you want to come talk to us. So the basic idea of Sakura Arms, it's a 1v1 battler, and you have all these little Sakura tokens. And the Sakura can be in several spots. Up here, you have your life. Whoever loses all 10 of those Sakura first loses the game. Then you've got your aura, which is basically shields that can stop damage before it gets through to your life. You've got your flare, which mainly builds up as you get hurt, and that lets you fire off ultimate attacks, cards that have more powerful abilities. You've got distance, which is sort of a shared resource that shows how far apart you are and will determine which cards you can use to attack. It starts out at 10, so you're very far apart, but you'll advance quickly. And then finally, you've got Shadow, which is kind of like a holding area for Sakura that gets knocked out of other spots. The game comes in 3 box sets currently in the new Level 99 release, each one containing 6 different goddesses, and for the game you combine 2 goddesses, picking cards from either of them. They each have a bunch of normal and ultimate cards. And you end up with a deck of 7 normal cards and 3 ultimates, which can be, again, a mix of either of the goddesses, however you like to do it. And you'll mainly be using your normal cards. Cards can be used for their ability that's printed, but you can also discard cards who take what are called basic actions. And each turn you also build up Vigor, which can also be used for basic actions. So basically every card in your hand and each Vigor becomes kind of like a catch-all resource you can spend. But then, like I mentioned, you have these ultimate cards as well. They each have a cost in the upper right of how much Flare you have to spend. Again, Flare mainly builds up from you getting hit by attacks and taking life damage. And these, apart from some exceptions, are one-time use, super powerful cards. Now, the type of cards, I actually happen to get one of each type in my hand. Makes it easy to go through them. Utilities with this little blue scroll, you just use them and they do something, and that's it, but generally not attacking. Attacks you can play only if the distance Sakura, the distance between you, is within the range of the attack. So here I could play at 4 or 5 distance, and it deals either this much aura damage or this much life damage. So the opponent would pick to either take 3 aura or 1 life. If you don't have enough aura, you have to take life and get closer to dying. And then finally, enchantments, this little green one here, they will take Sakura from Shadow generally, although you can do aura, and put it on themselves, and then they lose one at the start of each turn. And whenever all the Sakura is gone, they go away. They'll often have either an initialize effect, which happens when you first play them, an ongoing effect while they stay in play with Sakura on them, or a disenchantment effect, or sometimes multiple ones of those. Now, some cards also have this little purple lightning bolty kind of symbol. That means they're a reaction, and they can be played on the opponent's turn. Apart from that, no cards can be played on the opponent's turn. And how a turn goes, I'll try to zoom in on this a little bit. First, the player gains some vigor. If there's any enchantments, every enchantment loses 1 Sakura. That's whether it's your own or the opponent's. Then you choose whether you want to reshuffle your deck, because you'll be discarding cards as you play them. You suffer 1 life damage each time you do that, so the game will eventually end no matter how slow you play it. Then you draw 2 cards, you take damage if you can't draw enough. Then you play as many cards as you want, and then finally at the end of your turn, if you have more than 2 cards in hand, you discard extra cards. And by the way, there are some full power cards, you'll see them when they come up, which use up your entire turn, so you need to be in the right circumstance to use those, already in the right distance. So those are the basics of competitive Sakura Arms. Let's talk briefly about my Automa. So what I did is I designed 5 different combos of cards, because there's so many possibilities I couldn't really design for every goddess, so I kind of created some pairs that could do different things. Today I'm going to be playing against one of the most basic ones, which is Yurina and Tokoyo. And every goddess pair I made comes out of a single box, so no matter which of the level 99 boxes you buy, you'll be able to play with at least 1 or 2 of my Automa. You don't have to buy everything to be able to play it. The Automa tell you which cards they use from each goddess. Here they're very focused on Yurina, and you'll see the bolded ones are their ultimates. And I explain how they play a bit at the bottom. This one just sort of charges in to fight. Then on the backside, you've got their preferred distance, you've got some priority cards and finisher cards, and a special kind of clarification on how they play their cards, and then a clarification on other cards in their deck. Because how the Automa works is you deal cards to them in a face-up row, so whenever they get more cards, you just add them to the right. And then at the start of their turn, you reorder the cards. Basically, you do the priority cards first. Then for any cards in the middle, you order them by how close the Automa is to being able to use them. Like with attacks, if the range is closer, they don't have to move as much. They'll try to do that one earlier. Then in the back, you have finisher cards, and they'll basically try to play each card from left to right. If they can't, then they'll use some basic actions. They have some straightforward priorities, like trying to get aura to defend themselves if they don't have enough, trying to move to their preferred range. For Yurina and Tokoyo, it is distance 3, so they want to be closer than my character does. I kind of want to be more in like the 4 to 5 range, so I'll be running away from them sometimes. And that's basically it. You can see all the details in the document, but I'll explain things as we go. And just to explain my goddesses briefly so you kind of know what I'm doing. Saine, the blue-haired one here, she has a Naginata. She wants to be kind of further away in range, and she has several defensive abilities. And her special keyword, most goddesses have one, is Idea, which is right here. And that means when she has only 1 or 0 aura. So when her defenses are down, she actually gains some bonuses. And then meanwhile for Hagane, although you don't see it on any of her current cards, she has this keyword called Momentum, which means if she has retreated, if she has increased the distance by at least 2 during my turn, then she can play these really powerful cards. So she kind of like runs away with her giant hammer, builds up power, and then smashes the person. And again, I picked an Automa that kind of wants to be up close and personal, and a player deck that is a bit further away to show you some of the distance play we might get in. Alright, so getting to the actual play, I've randomly decided to go first. I start with 0 Vigor, the opponent starts with 1 when you go first. I've got my 3 ultimates, don't really worry about those yet, because clearly I can't afford them. And then I've got 3 cards, and in the first round, neither player draws any more cards. You don't have to do any of like the start of round steps, all you do is start playing. And the other card I'm going to play is Ultimate Recoil. It says if the current distance is 5 or more, which it is, I'll move 1 Sakura from distance to my flare, so to start charging up my ultimate attacks. We're going to say my stuff is on the bottom, the Automa's on top. So there we go. Now we're a little bit closer, which both of us want. And I could play more cards, but there's not really much point because we're too far away to do much right now, and you can keep up to 2 cards at the end of each round, so I'll stop there. Now we go to the Automa's turn. We're not going to worry about their ultimates yet because just like us, they can't afford them. Once they have enough Sakura, I'll start talking about them. So looking at the Automa's cards, Crescendo is a finisher, so that'll go to the back of the line. And then Polite Return has a 2 to 4 distance, which is closer to our current distance of 9 than Brandish's distance of 3. They would have an easier time. Not that they're going to get into range, but just to show you how they kind of organize their thoughts. Then they're going to consider 1 card at a time. Polite Return, not in range. And they also consider whether they have enough resources to get it in range. Distance is currently 9, so they'd have to move 5 times. The basic action to close distance is called Advancing, and it moves 1 Sakura to your aura, so actually getting closer makes you better defended. But we would need a ton of actions to get to distance 4 right now, because we need 1, 2 to advance to range 7, but then aura is full and you can't put Sakura in a full space. So there's a different action called Focus that moves Sakura from aura to your flare to build up for your ultimates. So you'd have to go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, keep on taking actions to move Sakura out of their aura so they could advance again. And long story short, that ain't happening because they only have 2 extra cards and 1 Vigor. That's up to 3 basic actions they could take to try to get Polite Return in range. So that's, usually, it's not really that complicated. It's kind of obvious at this point that I could not play that card, but that's how the Automa thinks. They're like, do I have enough basic actions, even discarding other cards I haven't played yet, to get this attack in range? They don't. Brandish is the same thing. Now, Crescendo they can use. It's a 2 enchantment. And enchantments like to take from Shadow, which doesn't cost you anything, or from Aura, but an Automa will never play an enchantment if it takes more than half of the Shadow from its Aura. It doesn't want to kind of kill itself. So here they're not going to play it. So they get to the end of the round having played nothing, but they know they can only keep 2 cards as well. They discard the rightmost card when they just need to discard something random. And they'll take a basic action with that. Their first preference right now is to close the range, and they like to get some aura for themselves as well. So we're now at distance 8. And this is how the game usually starts, with some slow advancing. So now we have a new turn for me. I'm going to gain 1 Vigor. That happens at the beginning of every turn except the first. There's no enchantment Sakura to remove. I don't want to shuffle my deck. So I'm just going to get 2 more cards. And to go through what I have briefly, I've got Cut Down, just a basic 3-1 attack with 4 to 5 distance. It is a reaction, so I could play on the opponent's turn, but unless I think they're going to get out of range 4 to 5, it doesn't really make much sense to do so. Wavering Crystal is an enchantment. I can use it as a reaction to take away some of the aura damage the opponent is dealing, and then at the beginning of the next turn, when the 1 Sakura comes off the enchantment, I do a little aura attack on them, and I increase the distance. So that's a great one when they're close to me and hitting me. Circle Dance has the momentum keywords, so I have to be 2 farther away than I was at the start of my turn, which means I need to retreat with things like Wavering Crystal. I need to increase distance. But that gives me momentum, and then if their flare is 3 or higher, so if they're building up for a big ultimate attack, I can steal 2 of that flare and put it in my aura. Pretty nasty. And then finally, Silent Wall is the only full power card I included in my deck. So this again would use my entire turn. I couldn't do any basic actions or anything else. But it's an enchantment that would take 5 Sakura, and this basically becomes extra aura. So it's kind of like I build a magic wall to take some attacks for me. but clearly a terrible thing to play right now. I mean, none of these are really good until we get closer. So I need to play at least 2 cards to do something, because otherwise we're just going to be wasting and throwing things away. So I think I'll do, let's do Circle Dance and Silent Wall. I don't think either of those will come into play for a little while. I'll discard both of those for basic actions. And let's build up my aura so I'm harder to hurt. So I'm advancing. We're now at distance 6, much closer to each other, and I've got a full aura ready to take some attacks. Okay, meanwhile, coming to the Automa, they've got 2 Vigor now. No enchantments to take out, and let's see, we've got another attack slash, another attack hilt strike. This Automa is very much built on just basic attacking options. So Slash has a 3 to 4 distance, so it's going to be a higher priority than Brandish, but when things are equivalent, like both Polite Return and Slash have 4 distance, both equally close, you just keep them in the original order they were in, so Polite Return is going to be before Slash. So now I got to imagine they're going to be able to get into range. So first we're checking Polite Return, can they get into 2 to 4 range? And the answer is probably. So let's see, it would take 1 action to gain some aura, another action to clear some out, another action to gain some aura. So that would be 3 basic actions, and they're at range 4. So they're going to do that. And where are the 3 actions coming from? First, they always prefer to spend their Vigor. So that takes them down to 0. And then they need 1 more basic action. First, they'll prefer cards they've already passed because they couldn't play them, which is none because they're considering the first card. And then they'll play the rightmost card. So Hilt Strike is being used, discarded to get that final basic action they needed. All right, so then they play Polite Return. Now, this is also reaction card, but in the basic Automa, they don't use any reactions. There are some advanced rules you can add in that kind of make things more complicated and like force you to hide their hand and flip cards over. Not worth showing in this video, but just know that they could use this. But for now, this is just a 2-1 attack. It doesn't do anything else. So 2-1 means I can either take 2 aura damage or 1 life damage, 1 of my 10. Let's, I guess, take the aura. And when you take aura damage, it goes to Shadow, which means now I have something to play my Wavering Crystal with without taking away my own aura, because, again, enchantments come from either Shadow or aura. Okay, next the Automa wants to play Slash. They are definitely within range, 3 to 4. It's a 3-1 attack, but I see they're not going to be able to play Brandish because they're 1 out of range, which is good for me. And let's see, a 3-1. Usually the Automa always takes 3-1 attacks to life because losing 3 aura just kind of puts you back quite a bit. I'll do the same thing here. So I'll choose to take 1 life, gaining it to Flare, instead of suffering the 3 aura and cleaning my aura out entirely. Or actually, you know what? I forgot Wavering Crystal now has the Shadow Sakura to play it. So let's get my life back. And I'll play Wavering Crystal as a reaction. It says initialize. The attack that was reacted to gets -1 aura damage. So now it's a 2-1 attack. And in that case, I will go ahead and suffer some more. This is getting 1 shadow on it. And when it disenchants, I'm going to do a 1 aura attack. That is inevitable. That means it can't be reacted to, not that the Automa cares. And then distance is going to increase by 1 from shadow. So basically, I'm weakening their attack, and I'm going to hit them a bit for their aura at the start of my turn, because that 1 Sakura will come off, and the enchantment will trigger. Again, at the start of every player's turn, each player's turn, 1 Sakura comes off of every enchantment. And I should note that the Automa does have 1 flare, and one of their ultimates is called Perpetual Wind. Artistic means anytime they end their turn with 2 Vigor. That's what the little circle means when they end their turn. If they have the max of 2 Vigor, they're going to ready this card so they can play it again. But it's a 1-1 that can't be reacted to because it's inevitable. And then I have to discard a non-attack card from my hand each time they play it. How the Automa works for this one is they will use it whenever I have 0 aura just to get a free 1 life damage on me. But I left myself with 1 aura, so they're actually not going to play it. They're going to keep their flare around. And they also have no other basic actions to get Brandish in range. They would need to advance 1 more time. Actually, they would need 2 basic actions because their aura is so high, so they're just going to stop their turn there. All right, coming back to me, I get 2 Vigor. Wavering Crystal triggers. This Sakura will go back to the shadows. This gets discarded. But I'm going to attack, range 0 to 10. I'm going to do 1 aura damage. It's inevitable. They can't react. And then 1 shadow is going to go to distance, moving us further away. So to show all of that, they lose an aura, and distance is at 5, which is kind of my preferred range. My deck's about to run out, but I don't need to shuffle yet. I'm going to get... Centrifugal Attack. That's great. And Manifold Slash. Manifold Slash is pretty straightforward. It's a 2-1 attack, but it's got after the attack ID. Remember, that's if I have 0 or 1 aura, which currently I do. I attack again with the exact same attack, a 2-1. But this is the one I really care about. Centrifugal Attack. It's a 2 to 6 range one, but it's got momentum. Now, I just increased distance by 1, and that was still on my turn from that Wavering Crystal effect. So if I can retreat 1 more space, then I'll be able to trigger momentum. It's a 5-3 attack, so they need 5 aura, which they don't have right now, or they have to take 3 life damage. But then after the attack, if it's my turn, which it is, both of us have to discard all the cards in our hand face down, and then my Vigor becomes 0, and I can't play anything else. So, yeah, I have all these great attacks, but if I do that one, that's the only thing that's going to happen. But still, it seems kind of perfect because I just got the free retreat, whereas playing these would be easier. Oh, and by the way, the important thing I didn't say is you can only use momentum if you have not played any other attack, so I can't play all of these and then play that. So yeah, to make this work, I have to retreat one more time. Now, retreating takes from your Sakura, so this is one basic action. Now I can trigger the momentum, and it's still in range of the 2 to 6 attack. We're at 6 distance. But that's one basic action to take away my aura. I'm about to lose all my cards and all my vigor, so I'll say I spent one of these cards to do that retreat. And then I'll spend the other one and both my vigor to get my aura back up to 3. Because I'm about to lose my whole hand and all my vigor anyway. And then I'll go ahead and play this attack. So I'm going to hit them with a 5-3. And they have 4 aura. The Automa actually does prefer to use 5 aura instead of taking 3 damage. That's the only attack type where when the aura is quite a bit higher than the life, they still take the aura. So yeah, I've got them down to only 7 life. Awesome. That's a big hit I just got, although their flare is a lot higher now. And my favorite thing is that they still have a lot of aura, so it's going to be tough for them to close the distance. Mwahaha. Then the phase immediately ends, so I can't do anything else. Let's go to the Automa's turn. So we should take a second now that they have 4 flare to look at their ultimates. Perpetual Wind we already saw. They're going to hit it with us whenever we have 0 aura, if we're in range 3 to 8. So anytime they have 1 flare and we go down to 0 aura, that's basically going to come and get us. Tsukukage Crush is their big beat stick attack. It's 7 flare to do a 4-4 attack. Pretty great, but they have to save up for it. And then Ukafuni Serene moves Shadow to aura. It basically fills up their shields. And once per game, Resolve means when they go to 3 life or less for the first time, they're going to get this back to use again. They'll only use this, though, if it'll raise up their aura by at least 3, and it's a finisher, like, at the end of their turn. So that probably won't happen right now since their aura is at 4. Okay, but their vigor goes up to 1, and they're getting their last 2 cards, so we'll both need to shuffle in a second. They got Overall, which is an enchantment. Concentration means if I do damage to them, then the card goes away. But otherwise, they're going to attack at range 1 to 4 with damage 3 aura. And then Art of Drawing is their best card. It's a full power card, so they do need to already be in range. They can't use any other actions. But if they're at range 2 to 4, they do a 4-3 attack. Ridiculous. Although if they're at range 2, it's a little bit weaker. Okay, Art of Drawing has priority. The rest of these are fine where they are. And the current distance is 6. So clearly they can't play Art of Drawing since they're not within range 2 to 4. Brandish, they would need to advance 3 times. And their aura is almost full, so that's not going to be possible. And overall, they'll only play if they're at distance 1 through 4, which they're not. So right now they only need to discard 1 card. So they'll get rid of Overall for a basic action, because it's the rightmost one. And then it's going to advance toward their preferred range of 3 and fill their aura back up. And it's back to my turn. I get 1 vigor to start. And all my cards are in my discard pile, so I'm going to take 1 life damage to shuffle. And then I get 2 cards. Oh, and this is pretty nice. I've got 2 of my long-range attacks, the ones I discarded to be able to use the other one recently. And I am in range, but here's the thing. I don't need to attack now, and if I do, I just clear out their aura so they can charge into close range. So no, we're good. We're just going to stay where we are and build up. I mean, well, the Automa also has to reshuffle, so they're going down to 6 life. Although there are difficulty settings to play with the Automa, maybe I should have done one of the harder ones because this is the basic difficulty. The first thing you do is you stop taking away life when they reshuffle, then you start giving them shields every turn, or you can play with both of those to make it super tough. Let's see, I don't think I gave them Vigor, so they're at 2. And they've got Hilt Slash and Crescendo. Crescendo's a finisher, so it goes to the back. Hilt Slash is definitely at the back. And they're still 1 range out of Art of Drawing, so they're not going to play that. But Brandish, this time I imagine they can get in range. They need to move twice. So let's see, it'd be 1... 2, 3, 4 basic actions. Oh my god. Oh gosh, that does get them to 7 flare. Oh no. That was 4 actions, so 1, 2 for the Vigor. They prefer the leftmost. They've already passed over. That's 3. Crescendo is 4. But before they play Brandish, Tsukikage Crush always gets first priority, so they're going to use all of their flare to attack me for 4-4. This is their highest priority card. So, bloop. That's a lot of shadow. But oof, I didn't even plan this, but it works out really well. I have exactly 2 flare to play Silent Icebreaker, which is going to make the attack that it reacted to lose 1 from both attacks, so it'll be a 3-3 instead of a 4-4, and I can block 3 aura. And then, at the end of any of my turns, if I have only 0-1 aura, which I probably will, this will ready for use again. So I use up both of my aura. I'm hitting them for 1-1. They'll take that on aura, of course. And then I'll take all of my damage on Aura. The Automa, by the way, only wants to play Tsukikage Crush when I have 0 to 3 Aura, so they can get it on life damage, theoretically. But they didn't know that I had a reaction. Well, quote-unquote didn't know. In a real competitive game, your ultimates are hidden until you use them, so they actually would not have known what I could have done. But yeah, that was super lucky. That's going to keep me quite a bit alive here. Although it's maybe not quite as good as it seems, because Brandish is still attacking me at distance 3 for 2/2, and I don't have any aura, so I'm taking 2 damage from that basic attack. So, oof, and I have no aura. Ouch. Luckily for me, they have no basic actions left to close one more time, bring Hilt Strike into range. If they did, I would have taken another damage, but they're just going to hang on to that for now. Alright, so we're both smacking each other pretty well. I'm up to 2 Vigor. I'm drawing 2 more cards, although now my attacks are definitely out of range. Ooh, I've got my Centrifugal one again, and Wavering Crystal to move us further apart. That's a good combo we already saw. I wish I had gotten my one to get me a bunch of aura, my Silent Wall. I haven't shown you my other ultimates yet. This one, Resonant Beat, it costs 8, ha ha ha, but it costs 1 less for each of their auras. Right now they're at 4 aura, so it actually costs 4. And it steals 2 from their aura and moves it to distance. An amazing one. I pretty much just put that in there to make momentum easier to gain. And I've also got Big Megalo Bell. If all my other ultimates are used, I can play this to move 2 from Shadow to life. Basically heal myself 2. There's so few healing effects in this game. That one is awesome. So I just have to get this one to fire off before I do it. But yeah, what do I do for this turn? I got a lot of actions. I feel like I should probably retreat, build up a bit of aura, hit them with both of this, and then keep Wavering Crystal and Centrifugal Attack for next turn when they hit me back. Maybe? Oh, jeez. Alright, so I could use both my Vigor to gain an aura and then get rid of it again. Ouch. I don't like doing that. And let's go and play Manifold Slash. So since I do have Idea, I have 0 or 1 aura for sure. I'm going to attack twice, 2-1 each time. And for 2-1 attacks, they prefer to take it to aura, so they're down to no aura, just like me. Yay! Although, that's right, they can like heal it so easily. But then I'm going to cut them down and just do 1 life damage since they don't have the aura. I don't know if this is the right thing to do. Maybe I should have slowed played a bit more, but there we go. Oh, and then they're going to do their Perpetual Wind. Crud. Yeah, I don't have enough to play that. This is not good. Okay, I just set myself up to be smashed. Well, too late. Let's just let the Automa do their thing. And yeah, I don't think they're going to be very nice to me here. They gain a Vigor. To go with their Hilt Strike, they got Polite Return, which is already in range, Slash already in range, so they stay in that order. Oh my gosh, what did I do to myself? Now, the one silver lining here is that they're not going to be able to get Hilt Strike in range. They're just going to hit me for 2 life. So that's what they do. They're already in range. So Polite Return first. That's 2 aura, 1 life. I only have 0 aura. So it's definitely going to be 1 of my life gone. What am I down to? 6? And then Slash, exact same thing. Well, I guess I want to increase distance to get my Centrifugal Attack off in a second. So I'll go ahead and use my Wavering Crystal to decrease the aura damage by 1, even though it doesn't actually do anything. But yeah, then I still have to take the 1 damage, so I'm down to 5. Same as the Automa. And now it's the end of the turn, but the Automa never wants to end with less than 2 aura if they can help it. I don't know if I missed that on an earlier turn. So they're going to actually spend their 1 Vigor and their Hilt Strike to try to get their aura as close to 2 or more as they can. First, they'll want to advance because they like to be in range 3 or higher. Then for the second one, they'll just take a Recover action where they do that and just take it from Shadow. It's not going to be enough to stop my Centrifugal Attack from kicking their butt, but it's something. Alright, so my Vigor's going up 1. Here's the important thing. My Wavering Crystal is disenchanting, so they're going to take a 1 aura attack, and then I'm going to increase the distance. And this is great. I'm definitely going to smash him with my hammer. Oh, and sorry, this ultimate should have actually readied since I had Idea, which maybe isn't great. Maybe I don't want that to keep on readying and stopping me from playing Big Megalo Bell. Alright, so, let's see. Ooh, this is so much better than I had any right for it to be. Oh, wait, credit. I just realized that they did have 1 flare at the end of their turn. So they would have attacked me. I only had attacks in my hand, so the discard effect wouldn't have mattered. But I would have taken 1 more life. Just to mark that before I forget. Okay, sorry, back to what I'm doing. This is actually the best possible turn ever. So first I'm going to play this utility. Remember, I can still hit with my hammer. The momentum keyword only cares if I played an attack on my turn. So it says if distance is 4 or less, which it is, I'm going to steal... Oh, they don't have any in their flare. Darn it! Them playing their 1 flare attack totally messed us up. That's fine. So I need to instead do the whole song and dance of getting an aura just to spend it. Okay, so I'll spend 1 Vigor to gain 1 aura. And then I'll discard this card that I thought was useful and was not to retreat again. So now distance has increased by 2, 1 from my enchantment at the start of the turn and 1 from that. So I could actually play this card, Circle Dance, because I have momentum, and it's not an attack, so it wouldn't stop me from playing the other one, to steal 2 from their flare into my aura. If they had 3 or more flare, they have 0. Yeah, that's not happening, but I will go ahead and use it to gain 1 aura, since my centrifugal attack takes away all of my cards anyway. And then I'll play this again. So it's a 5-3, they only have 1 aura, so clearly it's all coming from their life. Ooh, they're down to 2. And that's good because they never used their Serene Shield ability, and if they had, it would have restored itself. It would have readied when they got to resolve, 3 or less life, but no such luck. Although they're probably going to use it in 5 seconds right now. So alright, that's everything I had to give the AI. Ooh, they have to reshuffle. They're going to be down to 1 life. Woo! And then let's see, they're getting Art of Drawing. Oh man, they wish that was in range to wallop me for 3 damage. But it's not, but Brandish they can get into range by advancing twice, discarding Art of Drawing for 1 of those, and using their 1 Vigor for the other. So they're up to 3 range, they can hit me for Brandish. Ooh, and when they have Resolve, which they do right now, they're at 3 or less life, this is a 3-2 instead of a 2-2. Not that it matters. Well, actually, no, it does matter. What am I talking about? I was going to say it didn't matter because my aura is the same, but I just realized I can hit him with a Silent Icebreaker again. I think I want to do that. That'll hit them for 1 aura damage, and then their attack becomes a 2-1 instead of a 3-2. So I can just take 1 life damage. I'm now to 3, doing all right. And that's their whole turn. Let's see what I can make happen. Ooh, but I also have to reshuffle. Well, I should say I don't have to because I had 1 card left in my deck, and for the extra draw, you can take it as aura or life damage, so I could have, like, emptied out my own aura and only drawn 1 card if I didn't want to suffer damage, but no, whatever. All right, come on, I just gotta hit her. Ooh, we've got Cut Down, which you can't break. Yes! Never mind. Who cares about Cut Down? We're definitely doing Silent Wall. So if it's a full power, it's going to be my entire turn, but luckily I'm at only 1 Vigor and only 1 other card in my hand, so I'm not having to, like, waste stuff by not being able to play any of their actions. Okay, it says ongoing, and you would take damage, treat Sakura on this card as though they were on your aura. So I just got, basically, 5 free aura. Although it's going to be ticking away bit by bit every turn. I just realized, last turn, did I have them, like, discard cards and stuff? I should not have, because they would have used this just to get their aura up to 5 before they did any of that. Crud. I think it was like them advancing once and doing that once. So I think that brings them up to here. I'm not sure if I did any of that right, but I think that's what should have happened. Okay, so it's the Automa's turn. They go to 2 Vigor. Now, they are going to waste some stuff because Art of Drawing happens before everything else. So they can't take any other actions. If they want to do a full power, they're going to hit me for 4-3. So 1 aura came off my wall at the beginning of their turn, and then I'll take the other 4, so it's immediately gone. But it saved me from their biggest attack, so that's fine. Now they have 2 Vigors, so they're going to waste the Vigor they would gain next turn, but they do get Perpetual Wind back because they're artistic. And they have to discard a card. It'll be Hilt Strike, the rightmost, because they can only keep 2 cards, and they can't take any basic actions when they do a full action. Okay. Alright, so I kind of got to kill them this turn, I think, because I am in a bad way. Let's see. Okay, I can snow. Their flare's not high enough to use Circle Dance. Darn it. Wavering Crystal can build some distance for me. I do have 5 flare. Ooh, and they've got, yes, 5 aura. So let's go ahead and use Resonant Beat. So that's only going to cost me 3 flare, and it'll move us away by 2. I just need to get away from them. Although I don't have any. Well, I can. No, it's not going to help at all. I can't play that one right now. But I mean, they're almost out of cards. I feel like this might help me win. All right, so I'm going to use 3 flare to move 2 of their aura to distance. So now I only have 3 aura. Sadly, I only have a 3-1 attack, and it's not even in range. So I guess I'll just build up my defenses and pray. Let's do that, and this one doesn't seem very useful. That's 2 basic actions. Now let's get some aura while I wait for them to charge at me. All right, they don't get any Vigor, and ooh, they're down to 1 more card, so they're really running out of time here. Okay, so first I want to play Slash. They need to advance twice, which they easily can. Whoops. So boom and boom. Okay, then they're going to slash me for 3-1. Oh, and darn it, Silent Icebreaker. I guess I didn't get it back. I can't remember if I did or not. It's hard to run both at once and film, because if I did, I could reduce the attack to a 2-0 and take 0 life damage, but I think it was run out. So if I take the 3 aura, I'll have no aura, but if I take the damage, what else can they do this turn? Oh man, they can use both of those to get in range with Brandish, which is a 3-2. Oof, so I need to take this to life. So yeah, Slash, I'll take to life. And then to get Brandish in range, they're going to discard 2 cards for 2 basic actions, which is going to be their whole little 1-2 dance of pulling things into their aura and out. Now they're at 3 range. Okay, in Brandish, they're going to attack. It's a 3-2 because they're at Resolve, which would either kill me or empty out my aura, but thank God, because I was literally about to die. I'm going to use Wavering Crystal. So that'll get me 1. But the key thing is that makes it a 2/2 attack, so I can take it here. Which matters because they readied this. They would have hit me for 1 life damage and killed me right there if I had emptied out my aura, but I didn't. Excellent. I mean, not that excellent. I'm still really close to dying, but they don't have anything to draw, really, but neither do I. We're both at 1 life. What the heck? But that's it for their turn. Okay, for my turn, I gain 2 Vigor. Wavering Crystal hits them for 1 aura damage, and distance increases by 1. Yes. So we're at 4 distance now. Good enough for me, but they have 4 aura. All right, let's see what I draw. This might be my last turn. Oh, I've got Centrifugal Attack. Okay. I think this is a win right here, right? I mean, that has to... Oh, no. Yeah, they don't have enough aura to stop it. Yes. When this time this thing works, if the current distance is 4 or less from 1 flare to distance... Or from their flare, I should say. So, steal their flare. We're even now 2 further away than we were at the start of the turn. Centrifuge attack. We're doing 5-3. And, they don't have quite enough. But wow, if I had not had my reaction to lower the damage, I would have died last turn because they would have played Perpetual Wind on me. So yeah, that was about as close as you can get on the most basic difficulty level. Maybe I didn't build enough deck or play well enough. But yeah, you can make them a lot harder if you want to. So there you go, that is Sakura Arms, the latest 1v1 fighting game, ostensibly from level 99, but again, they brought it over from Japan. And that's one of my Automa. There are 4 more you can play against, and of course you can try out whatever you want with your heroines and goddesses. So I hope you enjoyed it. Check out the link in the rules. Try it out on TTS or with your own copy. And thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you're enjoying these solo variants. Good gaming, and I'll see you at the next stop.